Welcome to Macrocode. So if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So on today's video, we're going to do a continuation of employees management system. So there is a video that we did about a CRUD operation on ASP.NETCORE, and some of you guys requested that we proceed with the continuation of that video. So we are going to proceed with the continuation of that video. And if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing and let's get started. So we had created a CRUD app for creating and adding employees. So we are going to enhance this application. So to begin with, we are going to start. So you can see on our project, we have our context application class here with our employees table. Then we have our models for employees. So you can see. Then we have our program.cs. We are using SQL, so you can see that. And we have our nuggets. So if you want to see how we started this project, you are going to paste down below there a link to our previous video. So let's try and modify some things here. Our first name, let's make this required, so we can do that. We can make this required. We can make this required. Then we can have our full name. So how do we do that? We can do that, then we can remove this, then we can say full name. Then we can do this is equals to, then do that $sign. Then we can have our first name, then our middle name, then our last name, then email address. We can have these as a required field, then phone number. So you can close this. So employee can have first name, middle name, last name, email address, phone number. What else can we add here? So we can have country. Not really. Let's have address. So I'll show you how we need to update some things. So if we had this, so this table we had created it, and we only had these fields. So for the address one, we are going to update our views. So come to views. Then on create, we are going to add now the address. So here we'll do address. So copy these that way. So on edit, you can also have the address. So address, copy that, copy this. Then on index, we are going to display phone number. Then we can have the address here as well. So we'll need to showcase our address on our table data. So we can do address. So our edit, we can have, so you are using Fontosa. For the view, we can have it as I. Then some space. For the delete, we can have a trash. Then that is fine. So to update our field, remember we have updated our model with a new class, with a new field, which is address. So we need to add migrations. So add migrations. And to do that, guys, you come to tools, then nugget package, then package manager console, then add migration. Then you provide the migration name. You can say added address. So if we press enter, it's going to create the migration. So it is done. You can see it has added this field. It has added the address field in our employees table with the type int. So it has created this added address in our folder called migrations. You can see we have that folder here. So to update this to our database, we do update database. then it is able to, that is done. So if we run our application, there we are. So you can see we have these employees management. So as you can see on our table headers, the first name, middle name are actually together. So if we want to separate this, there's something that we can do on our models. So come to employees, then here you can say display name, then you do this. Sorry. Then you say first name. So we can do the same. So it will actually give us these names now. So this is what will be displayed in our form. Display. This is the name that we want it displayed on our view. Last name. So you can have that last name. You can have also this full name. Then you can also have this as email address. Then you can also have phone number. We can also have address. So if we run this, so you can see first name, middle name is actually now separated. So it is showing what we had provided. So we can add a new employee. You can say Jack Aaron James. Then test. You can provide the phone number 7 and our address. So you can see it has created. So it is not adding our address. So what could be the issue? So let's come to our model, our controller. So come to controllers, then employees. So on the controllers, you can see it is actually specifying the field. So we can actually remove this. We can also remove this binding. We just leave the model there. So this is how let me zoom in. So this is how it is. So I think that is now okay. So if we try again, so there you are. We can add another employee. Jack2, just provide this as a test one at gmail.com. So I'm providing some numbers. So you can see a valid is not a valid phone number, so it has the maximum integers. So you can save. So you can see it is actually saving now the address. So assuming you want to validate some fields here, so let's validate some fields. So we can do that in our model. So for our phone number, we can actually add phone. So it will actually take in a phone number. For the email, we can also do that. So you can say this is email address. So that is how you validate, and you can also put in some you can actually put in the length of the string in case you need, but this one is good to actually use. So you can do this phone, email address, and you'll be able to validate that. So you can also try to run this. So we can also add Jack3, test3@gmail.com. So you can add the phone number 1 2 3 4 5. So you can see it's not a valid, so it is now validating a phone number. So you can see 1 2 3 4 5. So you can do that. The value is not a valid phone number. Let me try. Okay. Let's save it. So what is the phone number field is not a valid phone number. So what does it expect? It's expecting a data field value is well formed phone number. So it's expecting, let's do that. So this is phone, so you can have so phone. So if we do this, so let's add a new, let's say jack3. So this one you can say jack@gmail.com. Phone number, then address. So it is actually saving. So let's try to put in some UI here on employees management. We actually space these. So to space that, how you find it, you come to shared layout, then you'll be able to see that text here. So this is the one. So you can do this as employees management system. Then on our footer, you can also do that, employees management system. So guys, if you're watching this video, remember to subscribe and turn on the notification, because we will be actually exploring more with this solution. So we can run our application. You can see we have now employees management system, we have index. So this index, we can change it to our employees list. So come to employees, then index, then we can say this is employees list. So that is it. Then we can call these employees list, change the title. So that is fine. So you can run this. There we are. So you can see you have employees list, employees management system, and our employees management system down here. So you can also try to have it down here under shared. Under footer, you can have these as all rights reserved. Can try to run this. There you are. So we have all rights reserved. Copyright is 2023 Employees Management System. So let's do something interesting. So we want to build a complete employees management system. So let's start with the setups. So we want to add countries. So assuming some of our employees come from different countries, so we can add, let's have a table for countries. How do you do that? Remember, we are using code first approach. So come to models, add a new class called this country, then add it. So our country will be having the key, so you can actually leave it or you specify it with the word key. Then we can, for a country, we can have a string. Then we can have the country code. And we can also have the country name. So these two fields are required, so you can actually annotate with that. You can do that, and you can also do these guys. So you can actually do required at the top in case you want it that way. But that is an old way of doing things. But you can also do that. So I also prefer doing that. But for now, if you do required, it will actually make that field compulsory. So you can also do required. So you're using .NET 7. Then the country code, we can have this as country name. So guys, so take this country code, we need to add it to our application DB context. So come here, then application DB context, we can have it here. You can say this is country. You can say this is countries. Okay, so in our country, we usually have counties. So we're going to add another county, assuming we have an employee coming from different counties, so we can have county. So this is a county class. So we can also have public int. You can specify this as a key. Then you can do public string int, let's say name. So this is required. So we can call this county code. So this is our county codes. Then you can have required, then you can have the county name. So in case you want to create that, we can now map this to our, can copy that. Then we can have our county, then counties. So this is another table, guys. So to effect these changes, we can add migrations now. So come to our console, then we can say add migrations. Then we can say geolocations. Then try to press enter. Then you can say update database. So if we press that, it will be able to update our database. So we can try to see our database. We are using SQL Server Management Studio, SQL Express Edition for our development. So you can install that and get started. So we'll just see. So we have a database called employees. So on our tables, you'll see we have now the counties, we have our employees table that we created, and we have users. So for the countries, if we do this, we don't have anything. So we want to add some countries and the counties in our system. So let's scaffold. So to scaffold this, click on controllers, then add new, then new scaffold item, then MVC controller with views using entity framework. Then you'll get this screen. So select the model class. We want to create a CRUD form for the countries. Then we are using application DB context, so it will create a controller called countries controller. So we are okay with that. Then click add. So it is generating our CRUD forms. That is for the create, read, update, and delete. So this is an easy way to do that, guys. So you can see it is done. So we have a controllers called countries. And when you come to views, you'll be able to see a folder called countries. So you can see here we have countries. So we need to add countries to our view. So if we click our app, you can see we have only homes, employees, and privacy. So we need to add our countries. So come to shared layout, then on our menus, so we can change the privacy to countries, then controller is countries, then it can take us to the index page. So this is our action. So we can also do the same for counties. Add, then new scaffold, then MVC, then we can choose county. So it will create, we are using application DB context, then it will create a controller called counties controller. So we can also add another table for department. Remember, employees belongs to departments. So then we will see how we can map our employees to counties and departments that we have created. So you can see we have created our controller called counties, and it has added a new folder called counties. So we can also add the same to our navigation. So this is counties. So this is counties. So if we do this, so if we run our application, so you can see we have home, employees, countries, and counties. So if we click on countries, you can see we have index, country code, and country name. So we can actually try to make that cleaner. So come to our model under country, then we can specify the display name. Display name. So you can use this, then you do this, then you say country. This is country code. So you can also do country name. So we can also do the same for the county. We have we copy that, then we say county code, then we have the county name. Sorry. So if we come to our index, let's add our bootstrap. So can have edit, can have this is delete, can also have view. I can do that for the others. So we'll copy this, then here you can remove these ones, then we say, so this one can be, so this one is edit, so you can have this as a button. So btn primary, then edit, then you can have an icon. So our class here can have it as using font awesome, so you can have this as pencil. So you can delete these. Let's just leave it. You can copy this. Then this one will be details. This is for the viewing. Then you can say this view. Then primary, you can have this as secondary. Then on view, you can have an eye icon there. Then you can copy this. Then you can say this is delete. And our button here, we can say this is danger. And you can say this is trash. So we can remove this, try to format it. So we have our icons and class there. So we can actually copy this and replicate it to our countries. So you can do this. You can also copy the others, which are this one, and paste it under index. So at the top here, we can have, we say countries. So we can make it cleaner. Then here you can say counties. So that is it. So if we run our app, so it is running. So there we are. So if you click on countries, you see we have countries, country new. So we can create a new. Then country, you can say KE, which is Kenya. There you are. We have our country there, guys. India. IND. I don't know if that is the correct. Guys, you can tell me. UG, that is for Uganda. Then you can click, you can create more, guys. So we can also create our counties. So these are counties in Kenya. So we have can have UG Uasin Gishu. So these are some of our counties. Nairobi. So Nairobi is actually a city and a county. Then we have Kisumu. Just doing this, but I'll confirm if these are the correct codes, guys. So we have Bungoma. So I've created some of these codes. So you can actually create more, guys. So assuming I want to link our employees, if I'm creating an employee, I want to choose the country that they are coming from and the county. So what I need to do, these are now relationship, guys. So we need to relate our employees to the countries and the counties. So what we need to do, the first thing first, come to our employees model. We need to store the country and the county. So this will be the country. So here we will say country ID. Then to make our code understand that this is a relationship, we'll have our country here, and we have this as a country. So put in the country class, then country, then so our field should be the country, which is the name of this one, of the class with an ID in front of it. So it will actually have this as a relationship. And this one we can say it can be nullable. So we can copy the same and do it for the county. So say county ID. Then remember this will be county. And this will be county. So that is it, guys. So we will be able to see that we can now add our counties to our table. So what we need to do is to update this on our database. So we'll say add migration. we say employees geolocations update. So it is done. So I can update our database. So before that, let's see our table, how it looks. So if we run our employees table, you see we don't have the county ID and the country code. And remember, guys, what we have added on employees table, you see it has the country class, so it will only append these fields, these two fields. So we will not be having these two, I mean the four fields. It will only take the country ID, and it will understand that this is a relationship that should be tied to the county, and this is one that is tied to county. So this is actually a one-to-one relationship. So say update database. So if we run that, so if you have any comment, guys, remember to subscribe and comment down below. You can see it says the alter statement conflicted with the foreign constraint. So you can see this, it will understand that the county ID is actually the primary key in our county table. The country ID is actually a primary key in our country table. So to update this, let's do add migration. So you should actually add this so that we are able to pick our country and the county while adding an employee. So we'll say add migrations. Then you say employees geolocations. So if we add migration, it will add these two fields in our employees table, you can see. So let's update. So when you come to our employees table, you'll see that we don't have those two fields. So we only have first name, middle name, and so I've actually cleared the data. So you can do update database. So when you run that, it is done. So if we refresh our table, can select, you can see we have the address, country ID, and the county ID. So we need to now specify these fields on our create view, so that when we are creating our employee, we are able to choose the county and the country. So what we need to do, we'll come to our create class. Then we need to specify the drop down list in our create class. So let's come to, so we need to specify. So guys, for us to pick the country and the county, when we are creating our employees list, so we'll need to come to our employees. We need to come to our employees view. Then under create, we need to specify a list, a drop-down list from the employees table. So let's copy that. Then we need to provide the label for the country. So we'll say this is country ID. Then this is country ID. But now our input, we need to specify it as a drop-down. So this one will be, so you can have these as a, so it is usually good for you to specify this before creating your views, because it will actually give you the correct thing. Or you can actually do this, guys. Then for us typing, you can actually delete this folder. Just delete it and delete our controller employee. Then you can regenerate again. You can scaffold. So come here, then new item, then scaffold, then using MVC, then come and say employee, then employees, then add. So it will scaffold with the new drop down list of the country and the county. So that is how you are able to do, or you can actually type it, assuming you had actually done a lot of things. So you can actually type it. But because we have not done much, we can prefer that. So you can see if we come to our create, we'll have all those details with now our drop down. Remember the drop down that I had showed, we were trying to key in, it is now here, guys. So let's copy some things that our customizations for the views, because we are done for the country. So we can copy this and we can provide it on our index. So we can do that. Then you can say this is edit. You can copy this. You can have these as view and these as delete. Then you can have these as employees list. So then here we can also have some icons, which is a class. Then so you're using font awesome, then you can say this is a plus, and you can have these as add new employee. So this is how you do it, guys. So come to a controller, then we need to remove the field bindings. You can remove these ones. Then you can also do away with these ones. Then that is it. So if you come to our crate, you'll see it is actually populating a list. So this is a drop down list. It is actually providing us a drop down list for the country and the county. So if we run our app, remember we have modified it. We are trying to add a county and the country when creating an employee. So you need to choose it. So we have it here. So if we add, we say Jack. So down here, you see it is requesting us the country and the county. So is that the correct name? Should be county. Yeah, this one should be county. So we have not created this, guys. So we need to create that before we do anything. So let's do that. We say KE Kenya. So I'll clean this. So you can do another one. UG Uganda. So this is countries. Then counties, we can create counties. We say UG, we say Uasin Gishu. So we can also create a new one, say Nairobi. Then, so we have our countries and the countries. So when you're creating an employee, you see we now have a drop-down list. But now our drop-down list is giving us the IDs. So we need to provide the description. So what we need to do, come to our controller employees. Then we want here, we want the country. Say here we want the country name. So this should be the county name. So that is what we want. So this one should be, so we can actually copy this and not really, just replace so that you don't get. So here country, we need the country name to be showing, and this one we need the county name. You can also do the same here. County, can also do it here. So here again, so I can do this and provide the county. That is it. So if we run our app, so when you click that, you can see now we have the country names showing, and the county name. So we can create our employee here, phone number, then we can select either Kenya, then Nairobi. So it is saying our count, we can try to see our controller, create controller. Our create controller, does it say? Let's see. Yeah. So let's do something here. So come to our model. So then on our this one, you can do this as empty. It's expecting some values. So then run. So make that as nullable. Then try to create an employee. Just you can see it has now created our employees list. So you can see we have now the county as our, so we can add another employee. Can do that. So UG can add another one. Can do that. So this is too long. Save. So you can see it is good. We also have our countries and we have our counties. But now something interesting. You can see our countries, it is showing the primary keys. But you want this to be showing the names. So come to our index, employees index. Then under the country, we give the country name. Here we give the county name. So if we run our app, this should be fine. Yes, guys, so you can see the countries, it is now showing the name and the county is showing the name. So guys, so remember to subscribe. So on our next video, we are going to see how we are going to integrate the template that we can be able to reuse. So we are going to integrate our employees management system with our template. So we are going to see that in our next video. So remember to subscribe and share. So see you and bye.